Hi, Johan. My name is Kartik Swaminathan. I am the founder at Fintastech, product and go-to-market consulting in the fintech space. And I am here to discuss with you all about a new initiative of mine uh, in the fintech space called 3F Future Fintech Framework. It is a very crisp book which I have written, for the easier understanding of all the fintech enthusiasts, career professionals, and students. And as we're going to discuss further, I'm going to take you through what are the key aspect the book mentions about. And before we begin, probably it'll make sense to probably set the context of what fintech is all about. So we all understand fintech as financial services and technology. It's the merger of these things. But in current times, the scope of fintech has widened. Digital technology has come in, social media has come in, right? You talk about big data which has come in, analytics which has come in. You have various country stacks which have come in, new regulations, new types of players. So there's a lot of action happening in the fintech space. So how do I make sense of it? And that's what this book tries to convey, right? The book is divided into three sections. So I begin the book by identifying some 64 themes or trends which are across common trends like onboarding or technology trends like a blockchain or a 5G, right? Or it could be a trend like content. It could be a trend called multilingual, why it is relevant. Or it could be a trend or a theme called peer to peer, because we know how peer to peer lending is happening, peer to peer insurance can happen, and the likes of those. So these are some 64 trends. It helps you orient to what is exactly happening in the fintech space. So that's point number one. The second aspect of the book basically talks about three frameworks, and it begins with a framework called FDLC. And FDLC is nothing but the fintech digital life cycle. So, uh, what it says is any fintech product will have from start to end seven stages, beginning with onboarding and ending with offboarding. And at each stage, there are, across these seven stages, I have identified 729 sub stages. And what you could do to enrich your existing product or to enhance the value proposition of a new product which you're trying to launch. So that's what FDLC helps you in, right? So anyone who goes through, understands FDLC is better equipped to innovate and ideate. So that's one, right? The second part is what I call as FLAIR, which is FinTech Logical Architecture. FinTech Logical Architecture is nothing but a simplified version of a architecture wherein I've broken it into functional components. So understanding these components, you can correlate it with the work you're doing and logically try to break your functionalities into those components. It helps you, eventually make your requirements better, convey it to the other team. So collaboration between teams becomes smoother. And the best part of that whole logical architecture is a non-techie can also very easily understand and relate to it, right? So to that extent, you know, um, the collaboration is much better. So that's as far as the second framework component called FLAIR is concerned. FLARE, FLAIR. And the third component is what I call as a API marketplace, which is FinTech API marketplace, FAM. And what is happening typically is APIs are basically components which help two applications talk to each other, right? Uh, and they help these two applications exchange information amongst each other. And this is increasingly becoming the norm for operation, technical operation between or collaboration or the expansion of the fintech world, right? So and what's going to happen in the future is many of these APIs will be listed in a marketplace and you can just pick and choose and create your workflow. Let me give you an instance. Let's say, let's draw an analogy with a website which you try to create, because that's something which is happening now, and and many of you could probably relate. So when you want to make a website, you will go book a domain name, right? Then once you book a domain name, you will log into the domain site, and then you will try to book hosting for it. Then you select a template, content management framework, either like a WordPress. Once you have selected that, within WordPress, you select a template based on which you want to make a website. Then once you have done that, you will try to have plugins or connections with respect to social media. You see it in many websites. They have social media plugins. You have plugins for payment gateways. There could be various other plugins like captcha in a form, right? And the likes of those. So once you have done that in your website, you will then add some content, images, and in various sections there will be some flow to it, and then you publish your website. It's as simple as that. So today an individual can do it, right? Maybe 5-10 years back that was not the case. Maybe a decade back. Same way, I expect that in the next 5-10 years, it may not probably immediately reach to the individual level, but smaller firms, and it's already there, at least at the payment gateway level. You can simply go and take a payment gateway API and embed it into your existing mobile app or a workflow or any e-commerce site. Assuming you want to do your own business, you can just do it. So today those APIs are available. But when I say the FAM is a bigger API where a lot of other APIs come together. So so you can typically, assuming you want to create your own community, then you want to have a peer-to-peer interface between community and then the payments linked to it. So tomorrow, these kind of things are possible. This is the way the ecosystem will likely evolve, right? And that's the kind of a vision I've tried to draw. So that's why that the word future and framework come in. So it's both a bit futuristic, realistic, futuristic, right? And a framework at the same time. And what does a framework do? It gives you clarity, right? It gives you a model or a clarity of to follow in stages and head in a particular direction. And that's what this framework is all about in a realistic sense. So these are three sets of framework: FDLC, Flare, and FAM, right? One is for the user journey, the second is for the architecture or the requirements, and the third one is largely for the API marketplace and how to manifest. Basically, API marketplace will help you manifest these imaginations or these vision which you have, right? So, and this is in a very realistic sense. A lot of it is uh, currently possible, right, today. Now, that's as far as the second section of the book is concerned. Third section of the book, I wrap it up with some key insights into areas like how player ecosystem is emerging, different types of players, segments which are coming. Regulations is some very important topic which I have spoken about. Then I've talked about pricing, because pricing eventually being a commercial setup, pricing becomes important. So I've shared some thoughts and trends there. And then I wrap it up with certain insights on how career, options exist and how they have evolved and they're likely to head in a particular way, which will help you plan your career also. So net, as I said, it's a very crisp book. This book, which is 3F Future Fintech Framework, is available on Amazon. It's available on Kindle. It's also available across other popular sites, which is I think Google Books also has it. There's something called Kobo, which where it is enabled. So you can just search it, and then there is Notion Press, which is the publisher of the book. So it's available there. And I wish you guys really enjoy reading this book. And I have my email ID given in the book, and look forward to have your feedback. And once again, thanking you for this wonderful initiative called CareerZ. Wish you all the best. Thanks, Johan.